Hi, today we have Mr. Compton, the illustrator. Oh, see, I already messed up. Okay. Today we have the author of the book. Today,
Welcome to my final. Welcome to
my
Waking
gosh.
Vision. Here we go. Ready? Just keep going. We'll just take it from there. Go.
welcome back to Mo's podcast. I'd like to welcome Mr. Compton, the author of the book CubeTangular. How you doing, Mr. Compton?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
That's good. That's good. Doing very good. So you're a video production teacher here at West High, right?
Yeah.
That's good.
Uh-huh.
That's good. And you happen to write this book, CubeTangular?
Yeah.
It's a nice book.
Thanks.
Read it already.
So let me guess. You're going to ask me questions about it, right? And you're going to ask me like, why is a video production teacher writing a book? Is that one of your questions?
No. That's a good one, though.
Okay.
So I had to ask you, what gave you the idea to write a book?
Well, I joined a writers group, and one of our assignments was to pick something to write for the month of July. This was like 2 years ago, two Julys ago. And so I had this idea in my head to write a book. I thought, well, I'll just write a children's book to start off, just because I thought it could be, easy way just to go through the whole process of writing it and getting it published and everything. So, that's how it came about. I was actually subbing at a animation class for ROC in the summer. And when I walked into this animation class, these kids were animating cubes and spheres and stuff in 3D space.
Mm-hmm.
And the instructor at the time wanted me to teach them story development. So we kind of like, when I saw that, I thought, oh, what would it look like to have shapes go to school and play on the playground and stuff like that. So that's how it kind of came about.
How long did it take you to write the story?
Well, it took me about a month to write it. It was in the month of July, like I said, but I knew I needed an illustrator, so that took a lot longer.
Where did you find your illustrator at?
Well, actually, that was kind of a interesting story. So we had just started this writers group, and we were meeting at Starbucks, and in walks an old friend of mine named Eric Simpson, and I hadn't seen him in a couple of years. And so we were just, catching up, and I said, hey, what have you been doing? What are you working on? What's going on in your life? And he's like, well, I'm working on a children's book. And I'm like, hey, so am I. And he showed me some of the images of his book, and I was like, wow, these are great. These are like Pixar quality images. I said, I want you to be my illustrator when it comes time. And he's like, okay, yeah, sure. You talk to people and you meet people like that, and you think, okay, yeah, some people maybe yes, they'll commit or whatever. And fast forward like a couple years later, he did it. He did it for me, and it was like he was doing it, part time, like on the weekends and at night, So it took a little bit longer than I planned.
Yeah, I actually like the title here, CubeTangular. Where did you come up with that?
Well, the story is about these cubes or these shapes that go to school and they become cubes, right? It's like when we all grow up, we mature and we get bigger and better, I guess. And originally, it was called CubeTangle because it was kind of a little incident that happens on the playground. A new shape comes up and they don't accept each other. And so when I got to the part where the climax sort of happens, the main not the main character, but Trinity, she's a prism. She kind of solves the whole problem on the playground, and what she does kind of transforms everything. I don't want to give it away in case people want to read it, but
sure.
But it was going to be called CubeTangle, and then the action that she did actually made it CubeTangular.
Yeah.
And people will see on the cover of the book what it means after they read the story. It'll all make sense, I hope.
So what parts of this story comes from your life experience?
Wow. I didn't realize that until I wrote the book. It's kind of a story about not fitting in, growing up.
Yeah.
And, people kind of being mean to you and rejecting you. And so it was actually, as I was writing this, when I was a kid, I was playing baseball with some kids in the neighborhood, and we were all having so much fun, and I was the pitcher. And then these bigger kids came and kind of took over the game and kicked me off the pitcher's mound and made me go to outfield. And from that, there was a time during that time where I just like I just felt like I didn't fit in. I wasn't, and I believed that lie that I didn't fit in, and it kind of carried with me, throughout life.
Yeah.
And I was meeting with my author mindset coach, who's belongs with Square Tree Publishing, who I publish with, and she's the one that kind of helped me identify that. And one of the things she said was, "Can you forgive this kid who did this to you?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah. I don't remember who it was, but yeah, I forgive him." And that was kind of part of the thing. That's part of where it comes from. Ruby at the end of the story, where she talks to Trinity and asks for forgiveness for what she did.
So, what are some themes of the story you would like to? Would you like to your readers to pick up on?
Well, I think probably the biggest theme, because that story I told you about when I was a kid.
Yeah.
How I reacted. I was sent to outfield. And so I picked up a dirt clod and I just chucked it as hard as I could, as far as I could, and I hit the pitcher in the back, and it exploded in the dust. And then I ran off to my uncle, who was down there watching the whole game.
Yeah.
So I reacted wrongly, right?
Okay.
I didn't solve the problem. I got frustrated.
Yeah.
So the main theme, I didn't want Trinity to be like that. I wanted her to solve the problem. And so the main theme is like, if someone offends you, it doesn't mean you get to go offend them. Or if someone says, "Hey, you don't fit in with this, you don't belong," I don't want the person to react and go, "Oh, well, if you don't want to play with me, then I'm not going to play with you."
Yeah.
Right? We do that a lot.
Yeah.
Right? Even as kids and high school kids and adults. So I wanted Trinity to be the person that solves the problem, not keep the problem going.
Okay.
That's probably the main theme.
Would you like to see your book being read to in schools?
Yeah.
To kids?
I wrote it for like kindergarten through third grade, fourth grade even. I think there's a lot of themes in there that kindergartners could pick up on, like learning their colors and learning shapes and forms, and about playground behavior. And like I said, what to do if someone doesn't include you, how can you still
Right.
fit in and help try to fix the problem. I would love for every elementary school to have it so that teachers could read it. I have a friend who teaches kindergarten, and she says in the spring they part of their curriculum is learning shapes and 3D forms and things like that. So
yeah, that's a perfect start for it. Okay. And so where can we purchase this book at?
It's on Amazon.
Okay.
If you just search the title, CubeTangular, it'll pop up on Amazon.
Okay.
I'm hoping to I have an ebook version of it.
Okay.
I don't think anybody's bought one yet, but, and then I want to get it in hardback, because I used to teach elementary school. So when I was always reading to my kids, I always had hardbacks because they last a lot longer, but there's more cost involved in doing a hardback, but I'm going to eventually do that. And I'd like to get it converted into Spanish as well.
Oh yeah. Do you plan to write any other books?
Yeah, I do have a couple more children's books I think I want to write. And I'm actually finishing up a chapter book for, like, say, fifth grade level. It's kind of weird. I teach high school, but I started off teaching fifth grade before I came up to the high school level. And so I have this story about a possum and a boy who's an artist who is kind of afraid, and he's new to the neighborhood, and he's kind of like he doesn't quite fit in.
Okay.
But he meets this talking possum who kind of helps him with some of his struggles at school and stuff. So that's part of my childhood story. And then it's also part of my story as teaching fifth grade with my students. So it's kind of a combination of things.
Is that story in the making right now?
Yeah. It's probably 3/4 of the way done.
Okay.
I just need to work on that.
How soon do you want to get that book out?
Good question. I don't know. I just need to. I need the time to work on it.
Yeah, that's true.
Usually, like summers are the time I do my writing, but I need to get in a habit of writing a little bit each day.
Okay.
So,
well, that's actually all the time we have here. Thank you, Mr. Compton.
Well, thanks
for coming on to my podcast to talk about your book here. The story again is called CubeTangular. You can get it off of Amazon. Thank you, Mr. Compton.
Thanks. I'm glad you invited me into your final exam. So this is awesome.
Thank you.
All right.